Welcome. How you doing this evening? This is Catherine with Total Life 180. I'm coming to you tonight with tonight's video log for our monthly study session of Original Intention. And today's segment that we're going to be taking a look at is on our health. This month, for the month of January, a lot of people are focusing in on their health, on their wellness, and wanting to lose weight, especially from the holidays. I don't know about you, but I know that I am. But I'm really believing that 2019 is going to be important for getting our health in order and getting a lot of things in order. But we're going to start with the month of January on our health because a lot of people are there right now. And also, there are some people doing the 21 days of prayer and fasting. And so a lot of people are doing different types of fasts. And if you're one that's doing one that has to do either the Daniel fast, or maybe you're doing the Whole 30, or you're doing something that pertains to just doing a plant-based diet, or you're just cutting something out like Starbucks or coffee or chocolate, which to me is hard as any get out, but I want to encourage you that we're all in this together. So stick with us for the month of January. Every Thursday, I'm going to be posting a video where we're going to go ahead and talk about this. We're going to go ahead and go through the process of original intention. Last week, we talked about 2019 being the year where we are going to see the miraculous. We're going to see the things we've been waiting for breakthrough on, but it's only going to be if we believe. And there's a lot of people that, they say, but I've been believing, I've been hoping, I've been wishing, and they're still not seeing it come to pass. And what I saw out of that was out of the story, and I shared this in my Facebook video last week, that of the man, the father who brought his son to Jesus to be healed, and he wasn't healed, and by the disciples. And Jesus, he told Jesus, if you would heal him. And Jesus answered him and said, if I can. He says, everything is possible to those who believe. And the man told him, I believe, but help my unbelief. And I believe that's what the hindrance is for a lot of us, is that we believe and we have faith and we know with our heads, we know what the Bible says, we know what we've learned, we know that God can do anything. But in our hearts, there's still unbelief because of issues, because of things we've experienced, because of life experiences and disappointments and things, dreams that we haven't seen fulfilled yet. And it's been so long. And whatever the case may be, it has caused unbelief in our heart to mingle with our belief. And it's been hindering the things to give us breakthrough. And so this year, we're going to focus on getting rid of the unbelief so that we can finally see our dreams come to pass. And in the month of January, like I said, we're going to focus on health because a lot of people are there for this month. And so today's video segment is going to be about recovering your health, going back to original intention. And we're going to go through in each month when we take a topic, we're going to take 4 weeks, and each week we will focus on a different part of the process of going through original intention, going back to your original intention. See, God, the master creator, had original intention for you when he created you and me. And so what does it look like? How does it look like to go through original intention, to get back to what he wanted from the beginning of time? So what does he say about our original intention and our health? What does he want for us? And so today, I want to start with the first part of the process of going through original intention, and that's an awakening. We've got to come out of that part. If you want breakthrough, there has to come to the point where you shine the light on the problem, on the issue, and you come face to face with it once and for all. And there has to be that awakening. We have to come out of the sleepwalk. We have to come out of the zombie position, because that is not going to get us anywhere. No one gets anywhere sleepwalking. So we have to get to the point where we wake up, we shine the light on the issues, we shine the light on what it is that we want versus where we're at, so that we can know how to get where we're going. And so today we're going to focus on 3 reasons that we should take charge of our health now, and 1 way to making it happen. And so this is going to be a quick segment, nothing long. If you want to get a pen and a paper, you can go ahead and do that. And take notes, or you can just listen and take notes again and watch it a second time around. But The first reason I want to talk about is that our body is the temple of God. And we know this in mind. We know this. If you're a believer, you know this. If you're not a believer, this is something that's brand new to you and you've never heard of this. The truth of the matter is that the Spirit of God hovers and longs to dwell in our hearts. But if you're a believer, you'll know that the body, our body, we house God. The presence and the Spirit of God live inside of us through Jesus Christ, his Son, where we've accepted him in our hearts and in our lives and we've become one with our spirit and his spirit, and he's awakened us. And so because of that, we're the steward of his home. So when we have a hard time and we want to quit and we want to give up on whatever plan we're on, whatever diet we're doing, whatever ideas that we're doing for our lifestyle of eating and being well and healthy, when it becomes hard and it becomes rough, we have to remember that our body, our physical body is the house of God. It is the temple of God. We would never, if Jesus came walking to the door and knocked on the door today, if God came knocking on your door today, you'd want a clean house. You'd want to give him the best bed. You'd want to give him clean sheets. You'd want to sit him at the best part of the table, at the head of the table, and feed him on the fine china and the good plates and not the paper plates or the styrofoam plates. Like, we really would want to treat him as an honorary guest in our home. And so our body is his home. 1 Corinthians 3:16 starts off and says, Paul tells us, do you not know that you are God's temple and that God's Spirit dwells in you? So if the Bible tells us that his Spirit is in us, our body is his home. And so we want to make sure that we are making this temple, this body, a great place for him to live and reside in. The second reason that you'd want to take charge of your health now is that because we worship God with our bodies. Romans 12:1 says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual act of worship. So our bodies are to be presented to him as holy. Now, I don't mean perfect because he's perfect. I'm talking about as separated. I'm talking about set apart, where we're not just doing whatever we want with our bodies. We are actually setting ourselves apart because we are giving it to him. We are presenting our physical being to him as an act of worship. And so when we do this, we are saying, I'm giving myself, I'm sacrificing the things that are not good for me. I'm laying it down and I'm saying, here, you take my body. You take what you want to do with me. Whatever it is you want to do with me, I'm your conduit. You can do through me, God. Because you live in me, you can live through me as well. So remember this, that your body is not only his home, but your body is also his conduit. You are the plug. You are the plug and the power source that he comes through on this earth when he lives inside of you. So that is another great reason why you'd want to take charge of your health now. Not later, but now. And when you want to give up and you want to quit, just remember that he not only lives in you and is residing in you, but he's living through you as well. And then third, we want to take charge of our health now so that we're able to run the race and fulfill our destiny with strength and power. I see this way too much. It has happened to me. It has been an issue that I've had to deal with, where my physical health gets in the way of me being able to do all the things that my heart wants to do, all the dreams that I have. How many of you have dreams where maybe you want to travel, you want to go on trips, you want to do things in your city, you want to do things with your family, you want to do things with friends, there's just, what are the things that you want to do that you can't because your health is getting in the way? What about just having a good night's sleep? What about just being able to enjoy taking a walk without being hindered, without feeling sick, without having to be stopped in the middle? What about just being able to enjoy your health? and being able to do things with people and have fun and enjoy the day and activities, and you can't because your health gets in the way, or you're not allowed because it'll, stir up some things that you have going on. So we want to take charge of our health now so that we can run our race. 1 Corinthians 9:24-27 says, "Do you not know that in a race all runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain the prize. Every athlete exercises self-control in all things. They do it to receive a perishable wreath, but we an imperishable. So I do not run aimlessly." Now this is Paul talking, and it's the same for us. "I do not run aimlessly." Put your name where it says I. So Kathy does not run aimlessly. Kathy does not box as one beating the air. But Kathy disciplines her body and keeps it under control, lest after preaching to others, I myself should be disqualified. I don't want to be disqualified from the great things that I could be experiencing in life just because my health is getting in the way. And so what about you? What are the things that you need to put under the control of the Spirit instead of those things controlling you? That way you can run your race and finish and fulfill the destiny and the purpose and the plan that God set for you in your life. So not only is He living in you, not only is He living through you, but He's living with you and for you. And so when someone invests so much into us, we don't want to give up. We don't want to give up the race. We don't want to give up the journey and miss all the great things that come with that journey, all the great experiences that we can have while we're on that journey. And so those are the 3 reasons why you should take charge of your health now. Because your body is the temple of God. He lives in you. Because you worship Him. Your life is a worship unto Him. And so that is that He lives through you. He lives through you when you lay it down and you let Him live through you. You let His power come through you. And also so that you can run and finish your call. Run and finish your race. Fulfill your purpose. Finish what you started. Finish strong. Don't give up. And the one way that we can make this happen is that we allow the Spirit to renew the soul, which is your mind. This is what you believe. This is your will. This is what you want. And your emotions, how you feel. And we do this in order to transform the wellness of your body and all other areas of your life. And here's how I want to finish and close this out. The book of 3 John in verse 2 says, "Dear friend, I pray that you would enjoy good health and all may go well with you, even as your soul is getting along well." See, we begin to get well physically when we allow our spirit to renew our soul. Sorry. And when we renew our soul, our mind, our will, and our emotions, our body follows suit. But what's happening is that we're allowing our soul to follow our body. See, the soul is the bridge. We're made up of 3 parts: spirit, soul, and body. And the soul is the bridge between the 2. And so if you are not controlling the body, then the body is controlling you. And the you part I'm talking about is the soul. And so when you start renewing the soul, the mind, the will, and the emotions, what you believe, what you think, how you think about things, how it makes you feel, how you allow it to make you feel, how you handle how it feels, how you handle what you want, all those aspects. When you allow the physical, your body to tell you how to do that, then you are under its control. But when you allow the spirit to tell you how to do that, then your body has to follow suit of that. And so next week on our video, we're going to talk about the second part of getting to your original intention as it relates to the physical aspect. And what that is we are going to get rid of unbelief. we're going to deal with the soul aspect. We're going to heal the original intention. And the only way to heal is to remove the lies that we believe. So next week, you'll want to come back because we're going to talk about the myths and the lies that we believe about wellness, about healing, and about our physical aspect of our bodies. I want to share this story with you just to prep you for next week. I used to get sick a lot. And don't get me wrong, there are times I don't feel well or I feel a little under the weather, but I don't claim being sick anymore. Because when I used to get sick, it would knock me down for weeks at a time. And now I haven't had that in a very long time. And I had a dear friend, tell me, why do you feel that you need to be sick in order to get rest? And when I realized that me being sick was tied to a belief that I had, that the only time I could rest was when I was sick, I realized I didn't need that belief system anymore. And I broke that agreement that I had with that internally. And once I broke that, I never got sick again like that again. And I don't claim to get sick. And now I may feel under the weather. I know I listen to my body and say, okay, it's time to rest. Or I may be struggling and battling with some things, or even the normal things like a sore throat or just things. Well, I don't even want to call that normal. We shouldn't have to accept it. We shouldn't have to tolerate it. But there are times where we do battle it. And so I fight it with taking care of myself. But when I used to have that belief system, I would be knocked down for weeks at a time on a regular, consistent basis. And it was robbing me of enjoying life. And so I want to help you next week. We're going to go through the lies and we're going to replace the lies, remove them, and replace them with truth as it relates to your healing, to your health, and your wellness. I believe that this year is going to be a great year, and I hope that you will join me and you will give us the time and that you will give yourself the time and invest in yourself to take the time to focus on what you need to make this year the best year you've ever had. We will be here next week with a new video every Thursday at 9, and I hope to see you there. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.